Hi Signets, it's BB. I am here to do a VR to Crochet Witch Tarot supplementary decks. And this was so hard. I liked everyone's videos, but I feel like 99% of the decks that I own, I would pull a card by itself. Even if it wasn't a spread, it was just like one card, you know, if I was in the mood. Because I tend to do that. It's like a really approachable way for me to read. And yeah, so this was difficult, but I managed to scrape up a few that I genuinely do not use alone. And I'll show you those now. Okay, the first deck is an oracle deck, and it is called The Lover's Oracle. It's by Sulamith Wolfing. I believe it's out of stock. It was printed in Belgium by Blue Star, 2001. And this is a really cute deck. It's very medieval, or not medieval. It's very yeah, I guess you could call it medieval. I was gonna say Renaissance, but now that I'm looking at it, it's more simplistic. It obviously it's not art from the medieval period, but it's art based on that period. And it doesn't come with a book. It is just the cards, and then on the backs of the cards, you get a little quote about love, right? So it says, "It is better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all." Very familiar. I love this one. It feels very wintry for some reason. But it's so pretty and soft and but it's not the kind of thing that I want to pull by itself. Let's try another one. "Love is like a rosebud. It may reach full blossom or it might die softly." And then it has these two instructional cards or informational cards. It says, "Relationships, specifically relationships between lovers, are one of the most fulfilling as well as the most challenging aspects of human existence. This deck can be used individually or together with your partner to develop a better understanding of yourself as well as your relationship. We wish you joy and inspiration while using the deck. You may use this deck by yourself or together with a partner. Place the cards in front of you with each color image face up. Relax and concentrate on the relationship for which you seek guidance. Allow your higher self to choose the right card for you, or one card for each of you. Pick up the cards and read the messages and take them into your heart. Discuss the message with your partner to come to a deeper understanding of your own relationship." I love that. I don't use it that way, but that's really cool. And it's also really cool that intuitively they want you to choose based off the image, which is really interesting. This is something that I use to supplement more romantic readings or readings about self-love or longing. I really need to use this deck more often. This is so pretty. I saw this on YouTube years ago and was I need this. Yeah. So I guess the theme too is that this is so subjective. People could use this by itself. The directions say to use it by itself. A lot of decks that people showed in their videos, I could use by themselves. It's really just your personal preference and practice. But the Lover's Oracle is my first choice. The second choice I have right now is the Mike Wilcox Tarot and Oracle. I do not use this alone. I like putting it in bigger spreads, but again, it's not a deck that I think has to be used tangentially with something else. This is such a beautiful deck. I've done a walkthrough of this. I can link it. And I think maybe next year I will use this deck by itself. It has a really big, beautiful guidebook. It's Art Deco inspired, but also has kind of a 60s, 70s vibe to it. It would probably look really sick with that new Oracle deck. I don't remember the name. Oh, I don't know, because it's like, it's very deco right here and very Greek, so maybe it wouldn't, because the other one I'm thinking of, it's like very groovy. So as you can see, it's a majors deck, and then it has Oracle cards, and it also has all of the zodiac signs. But that's my Mike Wilcox. I'm going to remember the name of the deck then. You can tell me if you think that this would be a good fit. I just like lean more this way when it comes to art than I do kind of like the 70s, like the retro 70s like fun style that's around right now. So even though color-wise it may be fun with that other deck, I don't know if I would use it with that. This looks cool with like my more modern decks and with like black and white decks. I know that it doesn't have like a white background, but I think you can get away with it if it's the right, I don't know, the right color combo, or like maybe Dark Days, which is mostly black. But yeah, I haven't pulled these on their own. I think they'd be good to pull on their own though, like even if it was like an altar card or something for the week. This is giving me good ideas. It's really just a practice, like, or an exercise of like, where are your opportunities to use these decks differently? Like, what decks are you kind of stuck in a pigeonhole with, you know? And I guess I have pigeonholed this as just like, oh, this adds on to your reading kind of thing. That's the Mike Wilcox. The next few are majors only, and I just don't like to read with majors only by itself. So we've got the Golden Visconti Tarot. This one's like really striking. I love the backs. And it's just like, wouldn't this look great with something else? Wouldn't it look great alongside like medieval Scapini or like Daydreaming in C2, or even a more traditional deck, or even like something playful but kind of like classically leaning, like Tarot Eros, Garden of Love, you know. So that's the Golden Visconti, number one of my majors that I don't use on its own. Do you use major decks on your own? Or like if you have majors, because I know a lot of people don't prefer majors only, but if you don't mind them, like how do you use them? Do you just pull a majors card? Or like a couple of them? Like, I don't know, I feel like that's such a different, like archetypal energy. I like mixing that with more mundane energy, you know? Okay, so anyway, the next deck is the, it's a Truly Magical World. This was a Kickstarter. The box is cute, just a slim little guy. It's by Bunny Cream's Card Co. And this is Disney. It's Disney. And they're so cute. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. But again, like I don't want to pull just a majors card or 3 majors cards. I just feel like that's a lot of big energy. And I mean, if 3 majors cards come up in a regular reading with a full tarot deck, that's like a different story to me. I don't know, you know, like that means that like out of all those 78 cards, all that big energy decided to show itself and present itself to you and like want you to focus on it. But like when you only have a majors deck, I don't know, I feel like it's not given that like chance to be something else, and like it's less special that you have like a bunch of majors cards because you only were working with majors cards. So I like to pull maybe a card like this and then center my reading around it. Or maybe if I'm only going to use this as the only tarot deck, then I'm going to grab a bunch of oracles and pull cards around that. you know, because if we want just like big picture information or like the strongest energy of like what's going on that day or week or like about that issue. But this is a deck that I really, really love, but not a deck that I use by itself. It's a truly magical world. The last Majors Only I have was a Kickstarter from years ago, and I still to this day, I'm so stoked this exists. It's called Another Tarot, and it was by a French creator. Does it say? Yes, Mathilde Morinier, and Image Format. This is like a cardstock box, and it's the same color as the cards inside. The reason I don't use this alone is for all the reasons I just told you about the It's a Truly Magical World and the Visconti, but also because it's so simplistic. Look at that. Is that not gorgeous? Oh, I love marbled. I love this blue and silver combo. I love it all. Okay, so like I said, it's like this matte cardstock, and then the only images are these like embossed gilding, like silver gilding. And it's so modern and so simplistic, and it really adds like ambiance and interest and like impactful like dynamics and meaning to a reading, but like I just don't feel called to, I don't know, pull it just by itself, you know? I think as I look at these and do this exercise, like the one thing that's kind of jumping out at me about like, if I were to pull one card is if I were going to use it as an altar card or a theme for like the week, you know? And I say week just because I don't think I'd want to pull this every day. You could do it monthly, whatever. But is this not the coolest? I love these. Wait, I think yeah, this is the right direction. It's a little, like I said, it's modern in style, but it's also modern in context. I mean, it has like a phone, you know? It has like a smartphone in here. But this is the Another Tarot. It does have a little guidebook too, which is fun, in French and English. This is such a fun art deck. Like, I really treasure this deck. If this didn't exist, or if I lost it, oh, I'd be so sad. I'd be so sad. But I have a walkthrough of this one too. I can link it if you want to see all the cards. Okay, we have two more, and they're both mass market, and they're both by the same artist, and they're both oracles. And the reason, I'm going to show you both. The reason that I don't, here, let's move that over to the side, use these on their own. Not that they wouldn't be great on their own, and not that I can't. It's just that they work so well with other decks. They really enhance readings. They really enhance the visuals, and I'm all about that, you know? So let's break into these so we can flip through and you can see what I mean. Well, I mean, I guess I don't have another deck to show you with, but so we know that one of the factors of pairing decks with each other is room to breathe, right? So the fact that these decks have so much negative space, and they're just like, they're not even fully filled in with color. You know, you see the line work, and then there's like maybe one or two colors that's like really highlighted in the image. What that does is draw out those colors or those complementing colors in the other deck, which is like, it can be so magical. So I'm gonna open up the Winter Seer Animal as well. So we have like the plant energy in the Hedge Witch Botanical. And then with the Winter Seer Animal, which I think I might even like better. I love me an animal deck. Like, I know there are people out there who are not fans, and I totally respect that, but I totally don't get it. I cannot relate because an animal deck is just so precious and beautiful to me. And I mean, maybe I have a ways to go sometimes with knowing exactly like the depth and kind of expansive energies that like animals can tap into. You know, I could go maybe surface level pretty easily with animal energy, but like, you know, there's so much there. And I really love the idea of the participating in the animal gnosis that Cosmic Creeper does monthly, because that helps you tap into and learn so much about kind of like exactly what it says, right? Like the gnosis of what all of these animal energies have to offer, you know, the knowledge about it. This one is a little bit more kind of colored in than the Hedge Witch Botanical, but it still seems like such a neutral, calming, centering kind of force in readings with other decks, you know? And I have other animal, I can think of at least one other animal oracle that I have, and I would maybe pull like just one card of that. But for some reason, the art in this just makes me want to pair it with things, you know, and make really beautiful tableaus and cardscapes, you know? I don't know. I don't know if this is making any sense, but those are my supplementary decks, the decks that I do not use alone, that I always use alongside something else. And I hope you enjoyed. So let me know, do you use these decks? And if so, do you use them with other things? Do you use them alone? Thank you, Crochet Witch Tarot, for creating this tag. This was really fun. And I want to thank you for being here. Thanks for being curious. Thanks for being my friend. My mom's coming. I gotta go.